What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Smart Money Academy. This is the day 23, and we are in the second video of the day, which is kind of crazy. And today we're going to be talking about news. So what's important to know about news, guys, is that news are not evil. News are not the worst thing in the world. What you just want to be mindful of with news is that you don't want to be in a trade during the news. Okay, what you want to do, and this is going to be very short, very to the point, is you want to watch how market reacts before the news. You want to have your trend and your drawn liquidity already pre-established, and you want to watch how candle or how the market reacts after the news, because news is just a market pusher. Okay, news is going to bring you to your drawn liquidity. News is going to accelerate the move, pretty much. Okay, so I usually don't like being in a trade during news, but what I will do is if I get my setup on a really small time frame, I'm going to enter towards my drawn liquidity if the market is showing me that that's where it wants to go, even with the news. Okay, so really quickly, we're just gonna be going over what news are, let's say, this week. So this week we have FOMC. FOMC is one of the big three, which is FOMC, CPI, and NFP. Okay, those news are massive. Those news are they're the big three. Okay, and FOMC happens at 2:30, and usually you're gonna get your manipulation at 2, and then at 2:30 you're gonna get your distribution. It's not always true, but it's somewhat true. Your NFP is usually your monthly distribution, so where the market wants to go, and CPI is usually just like kind of like either a manipulation or a distribution, but it's usually a really, really big move. PPI as well is pretty big, and so you don't want to be in the trade during the news, okay? But you do want to be mindful of it. You want to know that it's there, and you want to maybe plan around it a little bit, okay? Now I put a list of do's and don'ts over here, which is don't chase green, red candles, or like in my case, black and white. Okay, don't see the green candle going up like crazy and just press buy, full porting it. That's not what you're gonna blow so many accounts if you do that. Don't think you know what the numbers mean, so don't go on the website, Forex Calendar Factory, on the calendar where I look at the news and think, oh, it's bullish, I'm gonna send the buy. No, okay, because it's all manipulation, okay? So then even if the news comes out bullish, it could sweep liquidity first, it could do a bunch of shit first, okay? And it could keep sweeping liquidity, to be honest. Now usually a good news, so like a green news on the market is going to be bad for the asset. Why? Because the news that comes out is good for the dollar. And we are trading assets versus the dollar. So if the value of the dollar goes up, the value of NQ in term is gonna go down. Does that make sense to anyone? So if it's green on the website, it's bearish for the asset, okay? But you don't want to follow that. Once again, you don't want to think you know what the numbers mean. You want to watch for the fundamentals on the chart first. You don't want to risk full size on a high volatility event. And by full size, I mean your full size, 1, 2, 3%. I'm not saying you don't full port. I am saying don't full port. But I'm saying you don't want to even use your normal size in those kind of events if you're gonna trade. If you're gonna trade an hour after CPI, it's fine. But if you trade like 5 minutes after, you don't want to send your full usual trading like percentage that you allow to lose on the trade. What you do want to do is anticipate the trap, anticipate the manipulation, and you want to let smart money show you their intent. So what I mean by that is that let's create a scenario where news came out bullish for this, so it came out red on the website, and markets retracing here, so you know this is manipulation. You don't want to enter short on this leg here. This is not news. This is just like an example I'm giving you. You don't want to enter short on this leg here because you see black, and also you don't want to like just blindly take a buy because that's what the news is telling you. You want to wait for market to show you what it wants to do. React it off this 5 minute here. You can mark that out. You can do whatever you want. You want to treat it like a normal day premium, but just be mindful of it. So smart money always uses news as a justification to move price where they already wanted it to go. They've already built their positions, they've already created the drawn liquidity, they've already placed their traps, which is equal lows, highs, whatever. News just creates the volatility needed to sweep some liquidity, trigger some breakouts, and chop retail, right? You want to think of yourself as a mouse trying to get cheese from a trap, okay? So, let me go full screen here so you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So, let's say this cat right here is the trap, okay? So whenever I put my hand there, he bites, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go like this, like kind of like trigger it, right? So that it keeps trying and it doesn't work, and then at one point it's gonna be exhausted, right? So you can just grab it, just like a mouse would in a trap. The mouse sees the cheese, starts trying to poke around, triggers a trap, then it takes it. Same thing for market. You don't want to just enter. You want to wait for the trap to be set, and then when you say, okay, this is where they were gonna trap me, now I can enter. That's when you're safer to enter. Okay. So on that note, guys, I think that pretty much sums it up, to be honest. Again, you want to pair with every other concept that I teach: market structure shift, fair value gaps, OBs, SMT, drawn liquidity narrative, trend, and all that good stuff. And yeah, you just kind of let news take you to your drawn liquidity faster, but with the mindful and intelligent entry. And you guys should be just fine if you do it like that. Um, so on that note, guys, I'll see you guys in another one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch my SMA, and yeah, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I also stream live on Twitch every morning. It'd be fun if you guys could pass by. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys, and peace.